Hi, guys. Thanks for being here in the Good Guy Corner with me. Today, I'm talking about the struggle to make your wife happy. So, I've been a wife for 32 years, so I should know what it takes, right? And if you're like a lot of good guys, that has been at the core of what you want, just for her to be happy. You would do almost anything for her to be happy, right? Yet, how many times have you been frustrated or downright angry when your efforts have failed? How many times have you thought or said, no matter how hard I try, I just can't make you happy? So, wouldn't it be amazing to know the surefire way to make your wife happy? That would be awesome, right? And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you the straight up truth. It is impossible to make your wife happy. It turns out that you were totally right all those times when you thought no matter how hard you try, you just can't make her happy, right? So, yay, good on you. You get to be right about that. And let's look a little closer. All right. So, you've likely noticed that sometimes you do something to make your wife happy and it totally works. It's beautiful. Happy wife. Yay. And then you try to do that same thing again or something similar, and it falls flat. Or worse, she might actually become unhappy. So sometimes it actually does work. You do something and your wife is happy. And the reason it doesn't always work is because her happiness comes from what she is thinking. If she's thinking, oh, you don't really mean it, you just did that because you thought you had to, or whatever, right? If she's thinking something like that, it doesn't matter what you do, it is not going to make her happy. And this is because you can't actually make her happy. She has to have the thoughts that coincide with happiness and your intention. They have to line up. Her thoughts have to line up with what you're doing in order for her to be happy. And really, it's all about her, what's happening in her mind. So here's a way that's really useful to look at this, that my clients find to be really helpful. And that is that what you say and what you do are invitations for her to be happy. And that's all they are, just invitations. So you're a good guy and you likely want to do good things. And whether or not she ends up being happy is all about what is happening in her mind. It's not on you. It's not your job. It's actually impossible. So I hope with this that you feel a little bit of relief. You don't actually have the power to make it happen. So therefore, you can stop battling with it. And here you have your most important relationship, right? It matters to you. She matters to you. So, what kind of invitations do you want to be making? And how do you want to be making them? How do you want to be acting as a husband, whether or not it makes her happy, right? So that's the invitation that I have for you, to spend some time really thinking about this, really deciding how do you want to be showing up? What do you want to invite in your relationship? Whether or not it has the effect that you're hoping that it does, right? So these things I'm teaching you here on the podcast will really make a difference for you if you implement them. And if you want faster help, schedule a 30-minute session with me. In the show notes of this podcast, there's a link for a discounted rate for my podcast listeners. So go get it. Get a session, right? What are you waiting for? Haven't you been suffering long enough?